9 years of marriage, 2 kids, and one shirtless man's picture on my wife's phone lock screen. My stomach dropped, my world spun, and in that instant, everything I thought I knew about her shattered. I want to tell you about betrayal. Not the kind you see in movies where the cheater gets caught in bed, sheets flying, dramatic screaming. No, real betrayal is quieter, more insidious, comes in fragments. Small lies, hidden truths, glances that last a little too long. And for me, it all started with a single picture. Her phone buzzed on the counter one afternoon. I didn't mean to snoop, at least not at first, but my eyes landed on the screen. And there it was, a man, shirtless. Not me, her lock screen. My heart slammed in my chest. My throat went dry. For a moment, I actually thought I might be hallucinating. Why would my wife, my partner of nearly a decade, have another man as her lock screen? When she came downstairs, I tried to play it cool. My voice came out tighter than I wanted. "Hey, who's that on your phone?" She froze, just for a second, a flicker in her eyes. Then she shrugged, too quickly. "Oh, him? Just an old friend." "From where?" Pressed. Her lips tightened. "From before. Doesn't matter." But it did matter, more than she realized. Inside, my stomach churned. An old friend doesn't get prime real estate on your phone screen, especially not half-naked. I let it drop, at least in that moment. But my mind didn't rest. The weeks that followed were a blur of suspicion. Every time she smiled at her phone, my chest tightened. Every time she came home late from work, I felt that ugly sting in my gut. I noticed the distance between us. Fewer hugs, less affection, and intimacy practically extinct. Once a month, maybe twice if I begged. One night, lying in bed with my back to her, I whispered into the dark, "What happened to us?" But the only answer was silence. Eventually, I gave in. I went through her things. In her closet, tucked behind sweaters. Lingerie I'd never seen. Bottles of lube. Sex toys still in their packaging. In her purse, a date night card game. And a condom. I stared at it all, my hands trembling. My chest felt like it was caving in. When she came into the room, I confronted her. My voice was shaking, not with fear, but with rage barely contained. "What is this?" I demanded, holding up the condom. Her eyes widened, then narrowed. "Are you snooping through my stuff? Don't twist this. Who's the condom for?" "It's for us," she shot back. "For our trip. Remember?" I laughed bitterly. "Our trip? The one where you barely looked at me? Where you went to bed early every night?" Her silence told me everything. Over the next days, I pushed harder. "Did you sleep with him?" "No." "Did you kiss him?" "No." "So what then? Lunches? Gifts? Secret conversations?" She wouldn't meet my eyes. "It's not physical." But here's the thing, betrayal isn't just physical. And she'd already given him parts of her she hadn't given me in years. We talked about separating. But with 2 little kids, 3 and 5, it wasn't easy. Finally, we made a decision. We'd try reconciliation, individual therapy, couples therapy. She promised to block him, even sent a goodbye message in front of me. But before she did, she deleted their entire conversation thread. I stood there watching her screen. One message, no history. She thought that would satisfy me. Didn't. Something in me shifted then. I realized screaming wouldn't help. Begging wouldn't help. Cheaters expect chaos. They expect to be chased, to be pleaded with. But I wasn't going to give her that. No, my revenge would be quieter, sharper, more devastating. One night, sitting across from her at the kitchen table, I laid it out. "I'll try," I said, my voice calm, too calm. "But this isn't blind. You're in therapy. We're in therapy. And there's a timeline. If I don't see progress, if I don't feel trust rebuilding, I walk." Her eyes narrowed. "So you're threatening me?" I leaned back, folding my arms. "No, I'm promising you. You broke something. If you want this marriage, you'll prove it. If you can't, I'll move on." She swallowed hard. She wasn't used to this version of me. Steady, firm, cold. That was the first moment I saw fear in her eyes. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, I played my own game. I started documenting everything. Screenshots of her lock screen, pictures of the lingerie, the toys, the condom, notes about her admissions. I pulled our bank records, phone records, slowly piecing together a map of her lies. And then, quietly, I met with a lawyer. I didn't tell her. I didn't hint. I just learned. Custody, assets, child support, the works. She thought I was clinging to her, desperate. But in reality, I was preparing to leave her stripped of her illusions. Our first couples therapy session was almost laughable. The therapist asked, "So, what do you feel is missing in your marriage?" My wife crossed her arms. "I just feel unappreciated, like he doesn't notice me anymore." I almost barked out a laugh. Instead, I leaned forward, calm, deadly. "You wanted appreciation? You had it. Every day for 9 years. You wanted attention? You had it. But instead of telling me you needed more, you found it in another man. And you put him on your lock screen." Her jaw tightened. She avoided my eyes. The therapist glanced at me. "How did that make you feel?" I took a slow breath. Like I was living with a stranger. Like I was building a life with someone who already left me emotionally. And now, I feel nothing but clarity. Either this changes or it ends. Her head snapped toward me. She wasn't expecting that steel in my voice. Good. That's the thing about betrayal. Once trust is broken, every look, every word, every pause becomes suspicious. And now, she lives in that. Every therapy session, every dinner, every drink we share, she wonders, does he know more than he's saying? Is he planning to leave? What if he already has evidence? And she's right. I do. I'm steps ahead. Quietly, carefully, I've become the architect of her consequences. The sweetest moment came one Friday night. We'd agreed to sit down, share a drink, reconnect. She smiled nervously, sipping her wine. "So, do you feel like we're getting better?" I set my glass down, met her eyes, and said flatly, "You have until the end of this timeline. If I don't feel real change, I'll file for separation. No yelling, no second chances. Just done." Her face paled. For the first time, I saw her mask crack. She realized I wasn't bluffing. I wasn't the man she could manipulate with half-truths anymore. And in that silence, I felt it, power. She thought she could betray me quietly, sneak passion into her days while I was left with scraps. But now, she's the one living quietly, in fear, never sure when I'll pull the trigger. That's my revenge. Not chaos, not screaming, but control. The day she put another man on her lock screen, she lost me. And one day soon I'll leave on my terms, with proof, with custody, with dignity. And she'll be left with nothing but the memory of how her secret destroyed everything. Betrayal cuts deep, but the most satisfying revenge isn't loud. It's not throwing clothes on the lawn or screaming in the street. It's silence, it's patience, it's control. And as she sits across from me now, never sure how much I know, never sure when the end will come, she finally feels what she made me feel, powerless. So tell me, what would you have done? Would you have walked out the second you saw that lock screen? Or would you have played the long game like me, letting her live in fear of the day I walk away? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if you've ever craved justice, and subscribe for more stories where betrayal gets exposed and revenge is delivered with precision.